Hello students.
Phasor diagram. So already you have seen some information related to your phasor. So what is a phasor? A phasor is nothing but it is a vector which rotates in anti-clockwise direction about the origin at constant speed. So that is your phasor. So phasor, we have seen one circle also. Let us consider this is a circle. If I consider this is a circle, if you consider these two are the coordinates, so a phasor is nothing but it is a vector which rotates with an angle in anti-clockwise direction. This rotation of a vector corresponds to some values. If you consider the projection of these vector points, if you consider the projection of these vector points, and if you draw a graph, it looks like for sin x, it looks like this. This is your maximum value of 1 and this is your minimum value of -1. So a phasor is nothing but it is a vector which rotates in anti-clockwise direction, at constant speed. That rotation gives you a waveform. So one of the waveform is that is a sine waveform. So let us see a phasor. What do you mean by a phasor diagram? What do you mean by a phasor diagram? We have seen already phasor. So a phasor diagram is nothing but it is a diagrammatical representation of a phasor. Diagrammatical representation of any phasor is called as a phasor diagram. So let us consider a phasor diagram for a waveforms. Let us consider V1 is equal to some phi into, or before that let us take standard for phasor diagram. Let us take some V. So V of t is equal to Vm into sine omega t plus phi. In this Vm is called as a peak value. Sometimes it is considered as a RMS value, peak value, and this omega is angular frequency, and this is your phase. This is your phase. So one example for this one is for V of t is equal to Vm into sine omega t. So we have, so like this the waveform for V of t is like this. So V of t is nothing but the voltage, that is of the magnitude of the signal depends on t. So in the first unit we have considered a DC signals or DC supplies which is of independent on t, t. The second unit we are going to see which that is a magnitude which depends on t. So let us see a phasor diagram by taking some examples. Let us take an example. Some V1 is equal to 5 into sine omega t plus 30 degrees. Then V2 is equal to 10 into sine omega t plus 80 degrees. Let us draw a phasor diagram for this one. Let us draw a phasor diagram. Let us take coordinates. So this V, this phi is nothing but this is your length of the vector, length of the phase.
So the length is 5. So the length is 5 and the angle is positive angle. So the positive angle is nothing but in this direction. Negative is nothing but in this direction. So its value is 5 with an angle of 30 degrees. So this is a V1. This is your V1. A phasor diagram for your V1. So this value corresponds to 5, or this 5 is nothing but your length of this vector. Then V2 is equal to 10 into sine omega t. So the length is more and it is 80. Omega t plus 80. Some way it comes like this. 80 is nothing but it is near to your 90. Some way you can consider like this. So this is your length of the vector. So if you observe for V1, the peak value is 5. For V2, the peak value is 10. So the length of the vector has changed. And its angle is also, what is the angle? The angle is 80 degrees. So this is the angle of 80 degrees. So it is making an angle of 80 degrees. Or here you can write, this is an angle of 80 degrees. Now tell me whether V1 and V2 are in phase or out of phase. Absolutely we can say that they are of out of phase. With what angle? That is of 80 minus 30 with 50 degrees. That is nothing but the V1 is lagging the V2 by 50 degrees, or V2, this is your V2. This V2 is leading the V1. V2 is leading the V1 by 50 degrees. Anything moves in anti-clockwise direction, that is considered as a leading. If anything moves in clockwise direction, that is called as lagging. So if you observe here, with respect to this V1, this V2 is moving in anti-clockwise direction. It is at the side of anti-clock. So we can say that V2 is leading with respect to V1. And if you consider with respect to V2, this V1 is at clockwise, in the clockwise direction. So with respect to V2, V1 is lagging. Simply we can say that. So V2 is leading or V1 is lagging. Let us take one more example. One more example for phasor diagram. Let us take V1 is equal to 10 into sine omega t minus 30. V2 is equal to 5 into sine omega t minus 120. If you observe here, it is of minus 30 degrees minus 120 degrees. Let us draw a phasor diagram for this one. Let us draw for V1. So it is minus 330 and is what is the length of? Length is 10. The length is 10 and the angle is 30. The angle is 30. So this is your V1. This is your V1. What is the angle? Angle is equal to 30 degrees. Then what about your V2? V2 is the vector length. Vector length is less as compared to your V1. So this is your V1, but it is making an angle of 120 degrees. Now tell me whether V1 and V2 are in phase or out of phase. They are, absolutely they are out of phase. What is the phase difference? Phase difference is 120 degrees minus 30 degrees, that is equal to 90 degrees. Now tell me whether with respect to V1 and V2, with respect to V1, V2 is leading or lagging? V2 is leading or lagging? This is with respect to V1, it is at clockwise, it is in the clockwise direction. So V2 is lagging with 90 degrees and V1 is, with respect to V2, V1 is leading. V1 is leading. This V1 is leading. Right? This V2 is lagging. So like this we need to draw a phasor diagram for given voltages. Let us see some examples for phasor for simple circuits. And phasors can be represented in diagrammatical form, that is we have seen, that is of phasor diagram. This phasor can be represented in mathematical form. Phasor can be represented in mathematical form also. Phasor can be represented in mathematical form also. In mathematical form also. So what are the mathematical forms? Phasor can be represented in polar form, rectangle form, and exponential form. So phasor can be represented in polar form, rectangular form, exponential form. So what is the polar form? How it is represented? In polar form, it is represented like R with angle, or Vm with an angle, phi or theta, or Im with an angle. In rectangular form, A plus JB, where mod V is equal to, or mod V or mod I is equal to under root of A square plus B square. And what about your phi? Phi is equal to tan inverse of B by A. That is, angle is equal to, phase angle is equal to tan inverse of B by A. In exponential form, it is represented as Vm into e power j phi, or Im into e power j phi. So this is your polar form, rectangular form, and exponential form. In polar form, R, the angle of your phase, A plus JB, where mod V is equal to, or mod V or mod I is equal to, this is your amplitude. Amplitude is equal to under root of A square plus B square, and angle is equal to tan inverse of B by A. In exponential form, magnitude, exponent of your phase. Let us see some phasor diagrams for your simple circuits. A circuit which contains resistor, inductor, capacitor. Let us take for a circuit which contains inductor, that is of resistor. So this is your plus minus, this is V, and this is your I, and this is your R. Let us take V of t is equal to, here we are considering AC signal, Vm into sin omega t plus phi, This can be written as, in polar form, Vm with an angle of phi, or simply capital V. Then current through the resistor becomes I of t is equal to voltage by, according to the Ohm's law, voltage by resistance. So here we can write Vm into sin omega t plus phi by resistance. So this can be written as magnitude set says Vm by R into sin omega t plus phi. So if you observe here, V of t and I of t. Let us consider this is your equation number 1, this is equation number 2. Let us draw a phasor diagram for this one. You see here, for V of t, what we are having, Vm sin omega t. Check for common terms. Sin omega t plus phi is common, sin omega t plus phi is common. Only they are they are differentiated with only this amplitude. Here you are having for V of t you are having Vm, but for I of t it is Vm by R. That is Im value for I of t, the magnitude is divided with R. So let us draw for V of t. So V of t is, it is making an angle of phi. So let us consider this is a V of t, which is making an angle of phi, and I of t is, it is Vm by R. So absolutely its value becomes less, and it is making the same angle. Some way it is I of t, and it is making a same angle because omega t plus phi. So from this we can say that there is no any phase difference between your V of t and I of t. V of t and I of t are in phase. We can say that V of t and I of t are in phase if the circuit is of purely resistive network. Purely resistive network. Then we will find impedance. Impedance is equal to voltage by current. Here voltage is Vm into sine omega t plus phi, and I is equal to Vm by R into sine omega t plus phi. So this one gets cancelled, Vm gets cancelled. Here you will get Z is equal to 1 by R, which is equal to R. So for purely resistive network, the impedance is equal to resistance. Impedance is equal to resistance. This is about your Z is equal to R for Z is equal to R if it is a purely resistive network. Let us see a phasor diagram and impedance for purely inductive. For purely inductive. So this is your V plus or minus, and this is your I, and this is your L. Let us consider current flowing through the inductor. Let us consider IL of t is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi, which is equal to, in polar form we can write Im with an angle of phi, or simply we can write I. But what is the voltage across the inductor? VL of t is equal to L into di by dt. If you differentiate this IL of t, you will get L into omega into Im into cos omega t plus phi. So L into omega into Im into, if I want to write this cos omega t in terms of sine, I need to include 90 degrees. Sine of omega t plus phi plus 90 degrees. Plus phi plus 90 degrees. So this can be written as omega L Im, omega L Im. This totally can be written as e power j pi by 2 in terms of exponential form, e power j pi by 2, or here you can write e power j pi by 2, e power j phi into e power j pi by 2. This Im into j phi can be written as in exponential, that is of in polar form Im angle of phi, e power j pi by 2 is nothing but j. So simply we can write it as a omega L into j, or j omega L. Im into phi is nothing but, you can write I. So this is your VL of t. So here we got. Now let us see for impedance. Impedance is equal to Z equal to voltage by current. What is the voltage? Voltage we got J into omega L. J into omega L into I. What is the I? IL of t is equal to capital I. So here you can write I. This I is nothing but Im of I. So this also I is also Im of I. So this I gets cancelled. Then what you will get? Z is equal to J into omega L, which can be written as XL. So for purely inductive network, the impedance is equal to inductive reactance. So Z is equal to J into omega L. Now let us draw. Phasor diagram. So let us consider this first equation. And consider this this is the second equation. This is for VL. This is for VL of t. If you observe, here you are having Im. Here also you are having Im. But here you are having only simply Im. But this Im is multiplied with some L into omega. So automatically this peak value gets increases. Then what about your sin omega t plus phi? Here you are having sin omega t plus phi. But here you are having sin omega t plus phi plus 90 degrees. You are having the phase is increased by 90 degrees. Let us draw for IL of t. IL of t is, for IL of t, this is your Im. Let us take, this is your Im, this is your angle of phi. This is your IL of t. Next, let us draw for BL of t. BL of t is, the magnitude is increased with omega into L, and it is having 90 degrees. So this is your VL of t. This VL of t is equal to how much angle it is making? This angle is equal to 90 plus 5. So this is the phasor diagram for a purely inductive. So from this phasor diagram we can conclude that, already I said that if anything moves in anti-clockwise, that is said to be a leading. If anything moves in clockwise, that is called as lagging. Now tell me, with respect to this IL, this is in anti-clockwise or clockwise direction? Absolutely it is anti-clockwise direction. So it is leading. It is leading factor. And what about with respect to this? It is in anti-clockwise direction. So it is lagging. So for inductor we can say that voltage always leads the current by 90 degrees. So what will be the phase difference? 90 plus 5 minus 5. So 5 gets cancelled, that is equal to 90 degrees. So the conclusion is, for inductor, for purely inductive network, always voltage across the inductor leads the current by 90 degrees. And impedance is J into omega L. Now at last we will see for capacitor. Let us take a circuit which contains a capacitor. This is voltage and this is your current, plus minus. Let us take voltage across the capacitor. Vc of t is equal to Vm into sin omega t plus phi, and which is equal to Vm angle of phi, so which is equal to, we can consider capital V. Then current through the capacitor, that is Ic of t is equal to C into dV by dt, which gives you C into omega Vm cos, differentiate this V with respect to this, you will get cos omega t plus phi. So from this you can write omega C Vm sin omega t plus phi plus 90 degrees. So this can be written as omega c Vm. If I convert this into the exponential form, e power j phi into e power j pi by 2. E power j pi by 2 is e power j pi by 2 is j. So here you can write omega c. This Vm into j phi can be written as Vm with an angle of phi into j. This can be written as j omega c capital V. This is your Vm phi is nothing but your V. So this is your IC of T. Now let us find impedance. Impedance is equal to voltage by current. What is the voltage? Voltage is Vm into phi. You can write Vm into phi, and current IC of T. IC of T is equal to omega c Vm into phi into j. So Vm phi, this Vm phi gets cancelled. So at last you will get Z is equal to 1 by j omega c. So this is your Z is equal to 1 by j omega c. This is called as Xc. Reactance offered by the capacitor. This is your reactance offered by the inductor. For purely inductive network, the impedance is equal to capacitive reactance. Now let us draw a phasor diagram. So for that, let us consider this is your equation number 1 and this is your equation number 2. Let us draw a phasor diagram. Now again just compare. Here you are having Vm, but here you are having Vm and something. Okay. Here Vm and multiplied with some omega c. Is the thing, but the current magnitude is large as compared to your voltage. And Vm we are having in the place of sin omega t, we are having sin omega t plus 5 plus 90. We are having extra term, that is 90 degrees. So let us draw for Vm. So for Vc of t, this is your, for Vc of t it is making an angle of phi. This is for Vc of t, and for Ic of t it is having a length of more as compared to this one. This is your Ic of t, which is making an angle of 90 plus phi, So what will be the phase difference? 90 plus phi minus phi, phi gets cancelled. This is equal to 90 degrees. It means that in capacitor, again compare with respect to this vector, this is in anti-clockwise direction. So here we can write this is lagging and this is leading. This is lagging and this is leading. So with this we can conclude for inductor current, or for inductor voltage leads the current. For inductor voltage leads the current. For capacitor current leads the voltage. Current is leading the voltage by 90 degrees. So let us come to conclusion. Now let us conclude. For inductor voltage leads the current, by 90 degrees. Voltage leads the current by 90 degrees. Or current lags the voltage by 90 degrees. This is for inductor. For capacitor, current leads the voltage by 90 degrees, or voltage lags the current by 90 degrees. So these points are very important for any competitive examination or for gate examination.
For inductor, it leads current. For capacitor, current leads the voltage by 90 degrees. It means, what do you mean by this one? If phi is greater than 3, then we can say that 3 is less than phi. Can we say? If phi is greater than 3 is nothing but 3 is less than phi. That only we are telling. If voltage leads the current by 90 degrees is nothing but current lags the voltage by 90 degrees. If current leads the voltage by 90 degrees, that is nothing but voltage lags the current by 90 degrees. So how to remember this one? For this one, let us consider engineering branch, that is civil. C-I-V-I-L. C-I-V-I-L. In this C-I-V-I-L, this C is nothing but your capacitor, this L is nothing but your inductor. So leading and lagging statement for capacitor, if you want to know the capacitive statement, for capacitor, just take this first three letters. Current is ahead as compared to our voltage. So we can say that for capacitor, current leads the voltage. For inductor, consider these three letters. For capacitor, these three letters. For inductor, these three letters. For these three letters, here the voltage is first, then inductor. So voltage leads the current for inductor. For capacitor, which one is first? Inductor. Sorry, current. For capacitor, current is first, then voltage. So current leads the voltage. For inductor, voltage leads the current. Just remember this civil branch. For capacitor, current leads the voltage by 90 degrees. For inductor, voltage leads the current by 90 degrees. So in the next class, we are going to see what is the impedance and admittance and some phasor diagrams related to your combination of your resistor, inductor, capacitor, inductor, capacitor in series and parallel. Thank you.